What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Welcome to episode 4 of Red's Ramblings. For those of you that checked out the update video I posted the other day on what this episode was going to be about, you know that, I said in the video it was going to be about, the benefits of, listening to those with different point of views than yours and how you can use, that to grow as a person, as an individual, so on and so on. Well, we are going to speak about that, but in trying to figure out exactly where I was going to go with that topic for today's episode, that idea kind of evolved, you could say. It morphed into, I guess, the basis of what that means to me, which is, the old saying, variety is the spice of life. You hear that all the time. Variety is the spice, of life. And that saying alone can, go for so many things, so much shit out in this world. But so we're going to talk about that, and that's going to be the basis of what this episode is. But we're going to jump here and there. Again, this is Red's rambling, so that's kind of what I do. But again, so the topic, the main thing that this one started from was the benefits of listening to those people who have a different viewpoint of yours, and how you can use that to grow and all that kind of shit. Because give a quick background on me. Born and raised in the South. Born in Florida, raised here in South Carolina. I don't have what you would typically call a Southern view of the world, Southern view of life. I don't like country music. I don't like football. I don't like beer. So on and so forth. A lot of things that you typically associate with a Southern person, you can't really associate with me, besides I love fried foods and macaroni and all that kind of shit. Food wise, 100% I'm Southern as hell. Sweet tea, oh my God. I got a little Southern twang, obviously. Can't help that shit. Again, born and raised down here. But other than that, there's not a lot of viewpoints that you can typically associate with a Southern person that I also follow. So growing up, obviously I'm surrounded by people who saw the world differently than I did. Because, even though, my grandmother who raised my mom and my grandmother raised me, and my grandmother was raised on a tobacco farm in North Carolina, so Southern. My mom was raised all over the place. Her dad, my granddad, was a Air Force guy, so they moved around quite a bit. But when we settled here, I grew up in the schools down here in the school system. And a lot of the people, friends and everything, co-workers especially now, have a different view of the world than I do. A lot of people seem to be confused when I tell them, born and raised down here. So I don't typically have that same mentality. But in doing that, I feel that it's definitely helped me grow and become a better person and see the world in a more broadened perspective, a wider view than most people do. Because if you listen to the first episode, I enjoy figuring out why people are the way they are, think the way they think, and what drives them. Everyone has a goal. Everyone, I don't care who you are, you have a goal. But a lot of people don't go after that goal. Like I want this, I want that. What the hell are you doing about it? Or are you going for anything? Baby steps, doesn't matter. Are you running for that shit, sprinting for that shit, baby steps, crawling, skip to my darling, that shit. What are you doing for it? A lot of people just, they go a straight line, and it's never a right way to be in just about anything, especially with growing as a person. You never want to just keep it straight, keep it steady, because you never learn, you never figure out if you were ever wrong, because a lot of people these days, they never see the fault in their views. They never basically it's their way of the highway. Like you're either with them or you're without them, and or with them or against them, and that's just a very fucked up way to view the world in general. Not speaking about anything specific or any group of people's bodies of people's specific, but just in general, to go through the world thinking you're always right, you're way of the highway, can't nobody tell you nothing, you know, those people aren't ever going anywhere. Those people are going to stay where they're at because they can't take criticism. They're right, you're wrong, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? It's not the way to be, man. It's not the way to be. You know, I don't care if you're not right 99.999 like Lysol killing germs percent of the time. That point whatever percent that you're wrong, man up to that shit and learn from that shit and do better from then on. You know, anybody who knows me knows I'm a cocky son of a bitch. You know, but if you can find a fault in anything I do, or find a mistake that I do, and you can show that shit to me, I first person to raise my hand like, yo, shit, man, I fucked up. You know, can you show me the right way to do it? You know, or whatever the case is, and guarantee you, more than likely, that mistake is never gonna happen again. Because you gotta learn, you gotta know how to take criticism well. You're not always right. You're not always gonna be perfect. You know, you're gonna make mistakes. But just learn from it. You know, learn from the growth. That's how we as society have gotten to where we're at. You know, we didn't get this way just by following a straight line. You know, we were going, you know, and then somebody thought of an idea, so we went. And then somebody thought of another idea, and then, you know, whether it was up or down, sideways, zigzag, whatever the hell, somebody decided, hey, what about this way? You know, what do you think of that? Or, hey, look at this thing I figured out. You know, and everyone else around was like, oh shit, you know, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't see that. You know, how do you figure that out? You know, hey, teach me that. You know, that's how we got to where we're at now in the whole entire of the fucking world. You know, everybody, you got where you're at as a society by learning, doing, making mistakes, owning up to that shit, and continuing to do better. You know, perfect example. You know, my wife, she's doing, you know, chemistry classes on online school right now. And the other day she had this question. It was reading a graph or some shit, and math was involved, but it was basically about like temperatures of gas, liquids, and solids. And and you know, she looked at it and she put in her answers the way she was looking at the graph and ended up being wrong. And me, like, anytime she's up here at all, whether it be doing schoolwork, talking to a friend, or you know, whatever, I come up every now and then. I just bother her. You know, I was like, hey, babe, what you doing? You know, I ain't been up here in about, you know, 10 minutes. I just come say, hey, how you doing? I like to annoy her and just come up and say, hey. But came up and she, you know, she's talking about this problem and she wanted me to look at it. And I don't know fucking shit about college level chemistry, but I took a look at it. So she showed me the graph. She said this, and this. And I said it was that, but it's not. So I looked at it and I could see clearly how she got the answer she got. But because that was obviously wrong, I was able to see it a different way. And so, again, I didn't know I was going to be right, but I was like, all right, well, if it can't be that, then maybe it's this, maybe it's that. You know, ended up being right. She's like, oh, yeah, what the hell, you know? You know, I'm not smart. You know, she's the one in college for a reason, not me. But all it was, you know, she was looking at the graph one way, which in any other type of question, probably the way she looked at it was perfect. You know, the way anyone would look at a graph. But the way this graph was with the lines and all, with the way she thought the answers were being wrong, there was another way. So that's all it was. You know, I took what she knew and went, okay, if that didn't work, what about this? You know, and she was looking at it and you know, she had, you know, Googled some stuff and still couldn't figure it out. So all it took was somebody else, a different set of eyes, a fresh set of eyes, just to look at it and be like, huh, what about this way? And boom, ended up working out. So, you know, sometimes that's all you need Like in any time of problem solving, sometimes you need that fresh set of eyes. You're not always going to be good at everything. Sometimes you need somebody to come in and be like, I get that, but what about this? There's always ways to improve. And that's what you need. You want somebody in your corner at all times to push you and be like, I love the way you're going, but do this or do that. Maybe try this next time. And take that advice. There's nothing wrong with taking advice, listening to somebody, and trying to better yourself. Because if anything, man, if when you listen to anything I say, you know, the only thing really I want anybody to take from anything is to always try to do better. Don't be complacent. I don't like complacency. I get bored too easy. I can't do complacent shit. Um, a perfect example from my life, obviously, is when I found out I was having a son. Before then I was absolutely fine, just me, myself, and I. Going the route I was going in life. I had an okay job. Um, Making 11 something an hour, I think it was, at a distribution facility. I was the lead over there, so I'd made it to the top, without going for more promotions and whatnot. It was like managerial, I think, was above that. And I was too young. I was like 22 or 23, so I didn't feel like I had the necessary knowledge at that point to do it. So I honestly didn't even attempt. Um, I was too young and wild and free, and still getting drunk on weekends and whatnot. Um, so that wasn't for me. But for where I was doing okay for just being me. But then I found out I had a kid. It was like a light switch, just boom. I was like, all right. From now on, you got to do better. You got to provide. You got somebody coming in that's going, if all ends up well, it's gonna look up to you, and it's gonna need certain things. Need food, yada yada, discipline, wisdom, helping them through life. Because again, me as growing up without that, I didn't have that shit. So I didn't know how to damn be a father. So I knew because of that, like shit, I better be on my A game. Better be on my A game. Ain't about to let this opportunity slip through. So, from then on, I bam, applied for a better job, and after I applied for an even better job, and I got the job I got now, and for the area, it's not bad at all. It's one of the best ones you can have without having a college degree or anything. You know, so I'm doing well for myself, but I guarantee you, if it wasn't for having my son, I'd probably still be just barely making it by. Maybe making 15 an hour. You know, but I wouldn't be where I'm at now, owning a home, having a new truck. I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Not at all. Not at all. I had to have a challenge set in front of me, and that challenge was, hey, motherfucker, you better have a kid in your life. Giddy up, get right. Time to get right. So, luckily I was in that mindset, and I knew I had to better myself for the benefit of my child, and I'm sure I think I'm doing a good job of that. But even in doing that, I didn't, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had to look to others and look for advice here and there from people I didn't know. And I think easily for me, the best thing in being the dad I ended up being was the fact that I didn't have one. For me, not having a dad let me know that your dude left before you was born, so basically anything you do is gonna be better. You know. So, it was basically that simple. I knew what I wasn't gonna put my kid through. I knew what I wanted growing up. Obviously, if you don't have a dad, you want a dad growing up. Like, hey, well, was it my fault? All that kind of shit. I'm totally getting off topic to an extent here, but yeah. So, but back to topic, of using people with other views to benefit yourself. Again, if you look at anything, any type of advancement in society, I guarantee you, if you were to go back and talk to people who were there for major turning points in the growth of society in human history, I guarantee you there's somebody who's like, well, we were going this way, but I thought, this might be better, and I voiced my opinion, and luckily we went that way. Or it could even be the opposite. You talk to a lot of like companies these days that, were maybe the king in their industry. And then some young upstart comes and is like, hey man, I'm gonna do it this way, just to let you know. And like who was it? Blockbuster, Netflix. Blockbuster back in the day was on top of the world. Movie Galley was there, but maybe the hell I went to movie all the time. But Netflix came around and they were like, I think if I remember right, yeah, Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and they were like, man, that shit ain't never gonna take over. You know, they thought they were fine, just going, just riding the wave, and they didn't know that wave was about to come crashing down. If you look where Blockbuster, I think there's one in the whole world right now. Netflix is on top. Because they knew better, and they went on. They went against the norm, and somebody in Blockbuster's like, man, I ain't. No, we gonna stick with our thing, and then down they went. It happens with everything. You're gonna have your ups and your downs. I think it was like when before Apple came out with our iPhone, what was it, like BlackBerry and Nokia? They were on top, and smartphones came, and I think one of them, I can't remember exactly who, said, man, smartphones ain't never gonna take over. We got all this other stuff. Nobody wants to do all this shit on your phone. Nobody wants all that crap. And then where the fuck we at now? Hell, I'm doing this on my phone right now. So whoever's decided that thought, hey, we're good. We just gonna keep checking. We ain't gonna change our ways. And then, fuck Nokia and BlackBerry. They ain't nowhere, really. Anyways, I think they're still around, but barely. There are going to be a lot of obstacles. If you have a new idea, a fresh idea, don't be afraid to voice that opinion, man. Because even if, nobody sees the value of what you're trying to bring to the world, if you truly think it's something, fucking go for it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. Go for it. And hopefully if what you're thinking is some beneficial ass shit, we're going to all hear about it one day, because again, you always want to go against the norm, usually, depending on, I'm not going to say, always going against the norm, because some people are trying to, like, go against the way things are, and it's the wrong way. They try to go backwards. They try to break things how things used to be, and, again, even when you try and do that, like, there's a reason why we're not still, in shacks and shitting outside in boxes and outhouses and whatnot, because we've always grown, we've always progressed as a society, we've always done more, learned more, figured out more, just always more and more and more, and whether you like it or not, the world's changing, and best to try and change with it. Keep what you want to keep at heart, or to heart, and stay true to you. At the end of the day, always stay true to you, but realize that the world's changing whether you like it or not. What the way the world is today is not going to be the way the world is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, hell, probably not even next year, especially with the shit we got going on now, man. Fuck. Someone somewhere is going to have to figure out a way to figure this shit out a little bit better, just in case something like this happens again. I'm talking about the virus here. I'm going to get off of here in a second. But, nobody wants to go through this type of shit again. Whether you want to say, we saw the signs, fuck it, don't matter now. What's done is done. What can we do next time to be right? Learn from a mistake, man. Learn from shit. Always take shit and learn from it. But that's with all things, There are too many people that are just so hell-bent in their ways and in how they see the world that they don't see that shit's changing. And fuck it, if you don't change with it, it's going to move on without you. You're going to be left in the dust. You're going to be like Blockbuster. You're going to be the only one thinking that way. And, hey, people are going to look back and be like, well, we tried. We tried to help that person so-and-so out, but it was just hell bent their way or the highway, and it is what it is at that point. Not a lot of things you can do there. Um, so, I'm considering this was one of those that's really just in one topic. It's probably gonna be a shorter video than usual. I've tried to keep them at about 30 minutes. Um, but I gotta head out in a bit. My son has a dentist appointment, so old buddy's gonna get some teeth pulled, and so that's gonna be interesting. He's gonna be doped up and high as hell and shit, some laughing gas. I just got off work not too long ago, so I'm sleepy as fuck. But what I do want to do is I want to try and in the same vein of finding something or looking at things differently and seeing the benefits in that and growing as a person. I want to have like a little challenge, a musical challenge, if you can call it. Again, like I said earlier, I don't care for country, but I like just about anything other than country. Like I prefer metal music. I like a lot of '90s rap, old school rap. A lot of that new shit, fuck that. That's dumb to me. But a lot of metal, especially if I'm working out, hard rock, shit like that. So what I did when this quarantine shit happened and went down, I was off work for about 2 weeks during it when it first happened, for us anyways. And what I did is I looked up foreign metal bands for me. So if you are a metalhead or you like rock, usually everyone knows Rammstein from Germany, obviously AC/DC and all them from UK, Europe, whatever. But and a friend of mine, probably my oldest friend, got me into Duran Grey, which is a Japanese metal band. And Brazil had Sepultura, and there's a lot of foreign metal bands specifically. But I wanted to find a new one. You got the Who from Mongolia. They're cool as shit, and they're getting big, real big right now. But I wanted to find something new. It broadened, broaden your horizon, broaden my horizon in terms of musical taste. So I specifically went out and started looking up foreign metal bands that I've never heard of and giving them a listen. And one of the ones I came up with was, if I'm pronouncing it right, I don't fucking know, was Ninjin Isu, another Japanese metal band. But what was cool as fuck is they had been around, they got around in the late 80s, so if you like, old school 80s metal, long riffs, like 6 minute plus songs, then give Ninjin Isu a try.Ningen space ISO or ISU, excuse me. Ninjin Isu. It's a 3-piece band. Been around again since '87. Badass as hell, in my opinion, man. They got that classic '80s feel, but they're from Japan, which is cool as shit. If you don't like that, something's wrong with you. So, challenge is basically whatever is your favorite genre. Purposely try and look for a foreign band. It doesn't have to. You don't need to understand the language. I don't know German. I don't know Japanese. But I love the bands. They sound badass as hell. I can only imagine if I could understand what the fuck they were saying, it'd be even cooler. But find a band from another part of the world, preferably it speaks a different language, that you enjoy. And if you do find one, comment here of what that band is, and I'll give it a listen. Again, I don't prefer country, but I would imagine country is going to be difficult to find. At least what we consider country here in America would be difficult to find in another part of the world. But anyways, find something, broaden your horizon. Find a new band that you like from another part of the world. It's some cool shit to look into. How they always say math is universal language. Well, fuck, so is music. I guarantee you, everybody on this fucking planet likes music. You find me somebody that don't like music, I'll find you a fucking bullshit. I call bullshit on that person. They're probably dead. They ain't alive. You just ask the corpse, they like music, they didn't say shit. They didn't say shit because they're dead. Hell, even if even people that are deaf, they can feel the vibrations. and they hear it through feeling of that kind of shit. They listen to music too, just not the music we tend to listen to. I'm sure probably have a different way about it. Um, but yeah, so foreign music challenge, I guess you can call it, is what I'm gonna leave you guys with today. I'm gonna try and get some rest if I gotta wake my boy up, take him to the dentist. So, you know, I always gotta put in something of my kid at the end, because again, that boils everything to me. But you guys have a good day. I'll catch y'all later. Foreign music challenge, make it happen. Let me know about it. Again, if you like the video, comment, like it, subscribe, share, all that kind of good shit. I always love feedback from everyone who listens. As always, I give shout out to all my people. Ramon, True Q, always. True Q Barbecue Sauce, always. Chris with East Coast Custom Detail, and my boy Justin Waters always helping me out on anything technical I got, any type of questions I have. We got a thing in the works, me and him, on a project of his. Maybe I'll be able to talk more about that. I gotta check with him first. But anyways, always, as always, do good. Have yourself a good day. Foreign music challenge, man. Try and make that a thing. Y'all be good, man. See ya.